Welcome to Dreamtale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Memory Thief. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle theta wave melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Soon the music will shift into soothing alpha wave tones, carrying you toward a calm shoreline of dreams. Keep your eyes closed, or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The Memory Thief begins now. And when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Memory Thief. Alex Chen had always been fascinated by the human mind. At 16, he spent most of his free time reading neuroscience articles and watching documentaries about memory research. He never imagined that his interest would lead him into the dangerous world of illegal memory trading. The year was 2045, and technology had advanced far beyond what previous generations could have imagined. Memory extraction and implantation had become commonplace, regulated by strict government laws. People could share experiences, learn new skills instantly, or even remove traumatic memories. But like any powerful technology, it attracted those who wanted to abuse it. Alex lived in Neo Francisco, a sprawling metropolis where glass towers reached toward the clouds and flying cars moved through designated air lanes. His parents worked for MemoCorp, the largest legal memory processing company in the world. They believed deeply in using memory technology to help people heal and grow. One rainy Tuesday morning, Alex was walking to school when he noticed something strange. An elderly woman was sitting on a bench, staring blankly at the busy street. She held a photograph in her trembling hands, but her eyes showed no recognition. "Excuse me, are you all right?" Alex asked, approaching the woman carefully. She looked up at him with confused eyes. I don't know who this is," she whispered, showing him the photograph. It was a picture of herself with a young man, probably her son. "I know I should remember, but there's nothing there. It's like someone took a piece of my mind away." Alex's heart sank. He had heard rumors about memory theft, but seeing it firsthand was heartbreaking. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Margaret," she replied, though she seemed uncertain even about that. I think someone stole my memories, but the police won't help. They say there's no evidence." That evening, Alex couldn't stop thinking about Margaret. He researched memory theft online and discovered that it was becoming a serious problem. Criminals would extract valuable memories from victims and sell them to the highest bidder. Rich people paid enormous amounts for the memories of famous artists, scientists, or even ordinary people who had experienced something unique. The next day, Alex returned to the bench where he had met Margaret, but she wasn't there. Instead, he found a young man about his own age, sitting in the same confused state. "Hey, are you okay?" Alex asked. The young man looked up. "I'm Jake. I think. I was a musician, but I can't remember how to play any instruments. Someone took my musical memories. 5 years of learning guitar, gone. My band fired me because I couldn't remember our songs." Alex felt anger building inside him. These weren't just crimes against individuals. They were attacks on human identity itself. He decided he had to do something. Alex began investigating memory theft cases in his spare time. He created a secret blog where victims could share their stories anonymously. Within weeks, he had dozens of reports from people who had lost precious memories. The pattern was always the same. Victims would wake up with gaps in their memory and small injection marks behind their ears. The stolen memories usually involved valuable skills, beautiful experiences, or emotional connections with loved ones. Through his research, Alex discovered that most victims had been approached by people offering them jobs or opportunities that seemed too good to be true. They would be invited to offices in the industrial district of the city, where the theft would occur. Alex knew he needed help, so he reached out to Maya Rodriguez, a brilliant hacker from his school who shared his sense of justice. Maya had grown up in the lower levels of the city, where technology was often used to exploit the poor rather than help them. "This is bigger than we thought," Maya told Alex after analyzing the data he had collected. "The memory thieves are organized. They have a whole network of recruiters, extraction specialists, and buyers. And look at this. They're targeting people from specific demographics." Maya showed Alex a map on her computer screen. Red dots marked the locations where memory thefts had occurred. They were clustered in the poorest neighborhoods of the city. They're preying on desperate people, Alex realized. People who need money and don't understand the permanent consequences of selling their memories. Maya nodded grimly. "And it gets worse. I hacked into some underground forums where stolen memories are traded. The prices are insane. A famous chef's memories of creating a signature dish sold for 50,000 credits. An elderly person's memories of their deceased spouse sold for even more." Alex felt sick. "We have to stop them." "It won't be easy," Maya warned. "These people are dangerous, and they have connections in high places. Some of the buyers are politicians and business leaders who don't want their involvement exposed." Despite the risks, Alex and Maya decided to go undercover. They created fake identities and responded to online advertisements that seemed to be fronts for memory theft operations. Their plan was to gather evidence and then expose the entire network. Their first lead came from an advertisement offering easy money for sharing life experiences. It directed interested people to a nondescript office building in the warehouse district. Alex disguised himself as a desperate teenager needing money for his family. He wore old clothes and practiced looking nervous and vulnerable. Maya would monitor everything remotely through a hidden camera and microphone. The office was on the third floor of a building that looked abandoned from the outside. Inside, it was surprisingly modern, with white walls and expensive furniture. A friendly woman in her 30s greeted Alex. "Welcome, I'm Dr. Sarah Chen," she said with a warm smile. "We're so glad you're interested in our memory sharing program. Can you tell me a little about yourself?" Alex had prepared a cover story about needing money to help his sick grandmother. Dr. Chen listened sympathetically and asked him about his hobbies and interests. "You mentioned you play piano," she said. "How long have you been playing?" "Since I was 7, Alex replied truthfully. "It's my passion." Dr. Chen's eyes lit up. "Musical memories are very valuable. We have clients who would pay well for piano skills. The process is completely safe. You just rest while our equipment makes a copy of your musical knowledge. You keep your memories, and we share them with someone who wants to learn." It sounded reasonable, but Alex knew it was a lie. The victims he had interviewed couldn't remember their stolen skills at all. Dr. Chen led him to a back room filled with sophisticated medical equipment. A large chair sat in the center, surrounded by screens and machines with cables and sensors. "Just relax," Dr. Chen said, approaching him with what looked like a small device. "This will only take a few minutes." Alex's heart was racing, but he forced himself to remain calm. At the last second, he pretended to panic. "I changed my mind," he said, jumping up from the chair. "I need to think about this more." Dr. Chen's friendly demeanor vanished. "Sit down," she said coldly. "You've seen too much to leave now." Two large men entered the room, blocking the exit. Alex realized he was in serious danger. "Maya, if you can hear me, I need help," he whispered, hoping his hidden microphone was still working. Suddenly, the lights went out. In the darkness, Alex heard Maya's voice through a speaker system she had hacked. "Fire alarm activated. Please evacuate immediately. This is not a drill." The building's alarm system began blaring, and emergency lights flickered on. In the confusion, Alex managed to slip past the guards and run for the stairs. He met Maya outside, both of them breathing heavily. "That was too close," Maya said, "but I managed to hack their computer system while they were distracted. I downloaded everything: client lists, financial records, extraction schedules. The evidence they had gathered was shocking. The memory theft ring was even larger than they had imagined, with operations in multiple cities. The stolen memories were being sold to wealthy collectors who treated them like art pieces. Most disturbing of all, Alex discovered that some of the stolen memories were being used to create artificial personalities for advanced AI systems. The thieves weren't just stealing individual memories. They were stealing human consciousness itself. Alex and Maya knew they couldn't handle this alone. They needed to contact the authorities, but they weren't sure who to trust. The memory theft ring clearly had connections in law enforcement. They decided to reach out to Alex's parents. Despite the risk to their careers at MemoCorp, Alex's mother and father were horrified by what their son had discovered. This is exactly what we feared when memory technology was first developed. Alex's father said. The potential for abuse is enormous. Alex's mother, Dr. Jennifer Chen, was a leading expert in memory ethics. She had contacts in the federal government who were working to strengthen regulations on memory technology. We need to be very careful, she warned. If these criminals realize you've exposed them, they might try to steal your memories of the investigation. You wouldn't even remember what you discovered. Working with his parents and their contacts, Alex helped coordinate a massive law enforcement operation. Federal agents raided memory theft facilities in 12 cities simultaneously, arresting dozens of criminals and shutting down the entire network. The investigation revealed that over 2,000 people had been victims of memory theft. Many of them were able to recover some of their stolen memories from backup files the criminals had kept. Margaret, the elderly woman Alex had first met, was among the victims who recovered her memories. When she saw him again, she recognized him immediately. "You're the young man who helped me," she said, tears in her eyes. "I remember everything now. My son, my grandchildren, my late husband. Thank you for giving me back my life." Jake, the young musician, also recovered his musical memories. Within months, he had reformed his band and was performing again. The memory theft case became national news, and Alex found himself testifying before Congress about the need for stronger protections against memory crimes. His experience had shown him that technology, no matter how advanced, was only as good as the people who used it. Maya decided to study cybersecurity in college, determined to continue fighting against those who would exploit technology to harm others. She and Alex remained close friends, united by their shared experience of standing up for justice. Alex never lost his fascination with the human mind, but his perspective had changed. He realized that memories weren't just data to be copied and shared. They were the essence of what made each person unique. Every memory, whether happy or sad, was a piece of someone's identity that deserved protection. The technology that had once seemed like a miracle now seemed more complex to Alex. He understood that with great power came great responsibility, and that society needed to be constantly vigilant against those who would abuse that power. As he prepared to graduate from high school, Alex was accepted to study neuroscience at the university. His goal was to become a researcher who would help develop ethical guidelines for memory technology, ensuring that future generations could benefit from these advances without falling victim to those who would exploit them. The memory thief case had changed Alex's life forever. But it had also shown him the power of ordinary people to make a difference. He had learned that courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was the willingness to do what was right, despite being afraid. Looking back on his adventure, Alex realized that his most precious memories weren't the ones stored in any machine or database. They were the memories of helping others, of standing up for justice, and of discovering that even a 16-year-old could change the world. The future of memory technology remained uncertain, but Alex was determined to be part of the solution. He knew that as long as there were people willing to fight for what was right, humanity's most precious asset, the human mind, would be protected. In the end, Alex had learned the most important lesson of all, that memories weren't just about the past, but about shaping the future, and that every person had the right to own their own story.